Welcome to our channel. We are back with another video. Hope everyone is safe and doing well. So today we will discuss about different types of data and file storage in Android. There are four types where we can store our data and files. So first one is app specific storage. Second is shared storage. Third is preferences. Fourth is databases. So today we will see app specific storage and we'll discuss how to store the data with an example. So before actual implementation, I'll brief about this. Here we store the files that are meant for our app's use only, either in dedicated directories within an internal storage volume or external storage. So external storage is what we use SD cards. Whatever we store in this that other apps should not access. When we uninstall the app, the files saved in this storage space will also be removed. So we should not store the data which are shareable to other apps. Now we will see how to store and access the files in app specific directories. So here I will take one simple example where we will enter the username from this input box or edit text and store it in app specific directory. So let's quickly jump into the implementation. So this is the design area where we have the facility to drag and drop the UI components to the design view. I have already designed the UI since it is simple. So we have the text field and the text edit box and the simple save button. Only three components. So if you are not comfortable, please check the previous videos and the link given in the description box below. So the thing is, I'll tell you the logic behind this activity. So when we click the save button, so it will get the username from this edit text box and save it in the app specific directory. And when we launch the application, so it will check for that same file and get the username from that file and put it in the edit text box so that when you launch the application your username will be uh, put it here. So if it is not present, if the file is not present, so it will be blank. So here we will use file API to store the username in a file and access the same file to get the username. So now we will jump into the coding. So we'll declare these, we'll get the references of these input box and the button. So I'll go to the main activity.java and on create. So before that I'll declare it first. Okay. So one component is edit text. That is username edit text and another is the button. So that is save button. Okay. Now so to get the reference we need the ID. So what is the ID? We can check here. The ID is username edit text. So in the on create method, so we can get the ID or reference for that component. So how we can get it? Using the find by view ID. Sorry, find view ID. Find view by ID. Username edit text. Okay, so next is save button. Save button also same. Find view by ID or dot the dot save button. So I will verify once the ID is save button. So main task is to store the username in the file in the app specific directory. So to get the exact path of that app specific directory, so we need the context. So first, the context is abstract class acts as an interface to global information about an application environment. This allows us to access the application specific resources and classes. So using this context, we can access the application level resources and classes. So I'll declare the context now. And I'll get the reference. So we have get application context. So by this method we can get the context reference or context object, so that from this context we can access the couple of APIs exposed. Okay, so now what we will do, we will implement the listener, because whenever we click the button, so we need someone to listen that event. Okay, so I'll do implement on click listener. Okay, so for this we need to override the method. I'll override implement methods. Okay, I'm overriding now. So whenever we click that save button, so this save button, so we need to get the username from this edit text box. So here we have the reference for that text box. So before that I'll attach the listener, because we need to attach that listener, right? Save button dot set on click listener, this. Okay, so now the listener has been attached to save button, and now get the username from this edit text dot get text dot to string. So this will be the username. So I'll have the username here. So now I got the username. So let's print that username from that println. Username. Okay, so now, so we can get the app specific directory path from the context. So I told you brief before, so that also I'll print it. So what is the exact path of the app specific folder? Specific directory. Okay, context dot get. So this is the method where we can get the files directory dot get absolute path. So this will print the path of the app specific directory. Okay, we'll see this now. I have saved. I'll run the application, and when I click that button, we should see the username and the path in the console. Okay, we'll verify that. Yeah, Gradle build is running. Once we get the username, we have to write this username in the this folder, in this path. So for that we are going to use file API. So we'll put it in the file and put it in this directory. And while loading the application initially, we should read the same file whatever we saved and get the username and display in the UI. Okay. Okay, we have. So let's see. I have entered computerlabspace and you see in the console. I'm clicking save. I think it is taking some time. Okay, what I'll do, I'll close this and I'll run it again. Okay, so now it started. Good. To lab space, click save. Okay, cool. So we got the username and we got the app specific directory path. So /data/user/0. This is the application name and this is the file folder. So under this folder we can have multiple files, we can store it. So whatever we store inside this path, so only this app can access, so nobody can access. We got the username and the directory path where we can store the file. So now the thing is we have to write the username into the file. So for that I'll create the method write username and when we open the application initially we have to read the same file and get the username, right? So for that I will have one more method read username, that is in onCreate method. Required read username. Now I'll have one more attribute, a private static final string file name. So this will be user, file name will be username. So now, so I told, so we can use the file API. So let's go with that and I'll tell you alternative and easy approach. New file, and here we have to pass the path and the file name. So like this also we can create the file. Okay, so instead of this we can open the file output stream directly from the context. So I'll show you that also. So we can open this context dot open file input. Okay, so what it will do, you can see private file associated with this context application package for reading. Okay, so this is for reading purpose. So now we need to write it actually. So it will be file output and we need to pass the file name. we have the file name, and this will accept another parameter, so that is the mode. So mode here I'll set it private, mode underscore private, and this is the default mode. If we create the file with this mode, so where the created file can only be accessed by the calling application, because for that purpose only we are creating the file in the app specific directory, so that nobody can access this file. Okay, so I'll remove this. So we'll go with this approach. So for this we'll create the try catch block, and file output stream, file output stream. Okay, so now add catch class. Okay, okay, so now I have the output stream. So now I will write it. So where is my username? So I have the username here, dot get bytes. So I'll write it in bytes. So that's it. Now we got the username and we know the path, and I am writing that username. So for that I am using the open file output from the context, and this will accept file name and the mode of the file creation. So here mode underscore private, where the user can access only, sorry, only the calling application can access the file. Okay, now we will read the file. Okay, for that we need the open file input. We'll use that context dot open file input, and for this we have to pass the file name. Okay, so this will give us file input stream, file input stream. Okay, this is a cache. Okay, so we will not throw the exception, so instead we will cache it. So one is file not found exception. Okay, so now we got the file input stream, and that I will pass it to input stream reader. So first time you feel like difficulty, but this is just an example how we can store files or data in the app specific folder. So that's why I'm going with this approach. Input stream reader, new input stream reader, and I'll pass the file input stream, and I have to set the uh, character set, that is UTF-8, UTF-8. Okay, I got the input stream reader. So this one I'll pass it to buffer reader. Reader and input stream reader. Okay, so now I'll read it now. So reader dot sorry buffer reader dot read line. So I'll get the line and I'll check whether this is not null. If it is not null, so what I will do, I'll append it to string builder. So I'll have one more string builder here. So IO exception, okay, fine. And what I'll do, string builder dot append line, okay. And again I'll read the next line, br dot read line. It will read the next line, and again it will go back and check whether the line is not equal to null. If it is not null, it will take the next line also, otherwise it will come out of the while loop. Okay, so now so we have the data, the username in the string builder. So what I'll do, I'll put it in the string. I'll convert the string builder to string. Username, initially it will be empty. So finally string builder dot to string. String builder dot to string username, and this one I'll return. Okay, so here instead of void it should be string. Now one more thing is, so in the file actually at the end of the file we'll have /r/n. So that means that is the end of the file, to indicate that. So before returning we need to remove that /r/n. So for that what I will do, I'll just replace /n with empty space, empty string, and again I'll replace /r with empty. Now we have written the logic to read the username from the file and write the username into the file. Now writing is fine. So every time it will open the file and it will create the file if it is not exist, otherwise it will just open the file and it will write it. So reading the file, we have to do a check. So before reading the file, we have to check whether the file is present or not, right? Otherwise we'll end up with exception. So for that what I will do, I will check whether the file is present. Is username file exist? Is username file exist? Okay. So this will return public boolean. Okay, if it is true, then read the username. Otherwise, no, not required. And what we can do is, we can set it here. So read username will return the username, right? So assigning to username. So I am checking whether the file is exist or not. If it exists, read that file and get the username and put it on username. And next what I will do, if the username is not empty, then set it to the edit text box. Set text. Okay, so now we will write the logic for the is username file exists. So what we need to do is get the app specific path or app specific folder path, directory path, and check whether the file what we created is present or not. If it is present, return true or else false. So it's a simple logic. We'll write it now. So what we can write here is, so we can have one for loop, so where it will have the file context dot file list. So it will return all the files present inside that app specific folder. Okay, here what we have to do is, if that file name, so this will return the file name or app string, so it will be file name, and this is also file name dot equals of we have with our file name. Okay, if it is equals, return true. If it is not there, return false. That's it, right? So we are at the end. So now everything is done. So when we click on the save button, we are writing the username, and okay, so here we are writing the username using the open file output. And when we initially launch the application, we are checking if the file is exist. If it is exist, then read the username using open file input and return the username. Okay, so now what we do, we'll run it and we'll see the output. App specific storage. Okay, so some error has occurred. We'll see what is that. Okay, is empty on a null object reference. Okay, so we are checking this username on a null object. So initially we'll set it to empty. Okay, so now we'll see. It should run it again. Okay, so it opened. Now what I will do, I'll enter the username space. I will open the terminal or run log console log. If I click save, so it is printing the username. It is displaying the path also. So now it has stored the username in the file. Okay, so how we can verify whether it is stored or not? Okay, what I will do, I'll switch off, I'll close the emulator, and I'll start this application again. So now we should see the username when we launch the application initially. So it's opening the emulator. Okay, launch succeeded. So you can see guys, it is already loaded the username. Okay, so we can see that the username has been loaded initially when the app launched, right? Okay, so now we will verify in another way also. So what I will do, I will clear the data or uninstall the application. Okay, so now we will go to the settings, and where is that app? Okay, apps and notification, app info. So where is our app specific storage, right? I'll remove this, uninstall this. Okay, so when we uninstall the application, the data present in that app specific directory also will delete, right? Okay, so I'm verifying whether do we have any other app with the same name. So nothing. So now switch off, close the emulator. Now I'll start it, and now it will not load the username because we don't have the file in that folder, right? Okay, we'll see. So now you can see, so there is no username present. So that's it guys. So hope you understood how we can store the data or files in the app specific folder which is meant for that calling application. So that's it. Thank you. Finally, subscribe to our channel, like this video and share this video to your friends and family. So this will help us in making more videos. See you all in next video. Stay tuned. Bye bye.